obviously been a tough stretch for you guys. Just morale-wise, how's the team right now for either of you?
I think like we still believe in our ball club and our program. Like we knew coming in this is gonna be a tough league. If any given night, if you don't show up ready to play, you'll have a result like last night. But that game against Kansas State last night is in the past, and now we have to focus on protecting home court against Utah on Saturday.
Kind of piggybacking off of that, is it challenging to kind of bounce back from a pretty big loss like that on the road in the middle of conference play rather than maybe at the beginning of the season?
No, I think we have a bunch of older guys who have a lot of college experience, played in a lot of college games. And like I said before, like it could be anybody's night, any night. It just depends on who shows up ready to play. But that's the beauty of the game. Like you lose on Wednesday, but you got 2 days to prepare for the next game.
For both of y'all, what did y'all learn from the last time you faced Utah?
Me personally, I didn't know they were that big overall as a team, as a collective group. So just being able to come together as a group, and we got to be able to rebound as a team. I think those small things like that help us out in this next face-off against them for sure.
I think, like obviously they had some good players on the perimeter. The two brothers that could really shoot it. But I mean that game, they didn't really affect the game. They weren't really affecting the game like they per se consistently do. It was more their presence inside. Their fours. I think like three of their four men were in double figures that night, and they were just getting whatever they wanted around the rim. I mean, everybody's good in this conference. Like everybody's got good players. I think like Devo said, they were pretty tall, but they weren't doing anything out of the ordinary extra. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
For both y'all, you guys have had a handful of games between the first matchup with Utah and Saturday. What have you guys learned about the team, y'all's team? What have you guys learned about yourselves between these two games?
That we need to be better as a team, collectively as a group. I think that's what we're lacking the most right now. That was the topic of discussion in our film session we just had. That we just need to make the choice of how good can we be together. We obviously have some really good pieces, some talented players, but at the end of the day, how good can we be as a team?
Yeah, piggyback, getting off what Brandon said a few minutes ago. I think being able to come together as a collective group and putting one game behind us, even though it didn't go our way, and just try to find better ways to get better as a group and try to be better the next game. But it starts with practice, and so just being able to practice together today and just try to fix those little small details to help us get a little leverage when it comes to Saturday night.
Turnovers the last few games have obviously been an issue for you guys. Is there something specific that's happening, or is it just kind of like a collection of not taking care of the ball very well?
I don't think K-State did anything to speed us up or to take us out of our game. I think they did play harder than our first meeting here, but you can't win on any level or any conference turning the ball over 25 plus times or whatever we did the other night. It's hard to win that way.
Lutz is obviously a pretty intense guy. Just kind of how you mentioned the film study. Just kind of how have these last few hours been, I guess, since last night?
I mean, we had a pretty in-depth discussion as a program, but we've had a few of those over the course of the season. Like I said, up to this point, it's the end of January, about to hit February. It's just about action at this point.
Brandon, to go back a little bit to that Texas Tech game, y'all are down a sizable amount. Y'all make that run with about 5 minutes left. Y'all cut it to 3. Like that's happened a couple times this year where y'all have been down a significant amount in the second half, and then you go on this run to cut it down to 5, 6, and then the other team kind of has a run of its own to put it away. What has to change for y'all to maybe take that next step and not just make it close, but to actually take the lead and win some of those games?
Yeah, just be more consistent. We've showed glimpses. We've had moments. Where we look around like we're a pretty good ball club, right? And then it's just the way we start our games too. You know, we can't start the game on a 10-0 run, you know, by the home team and their crowds into it, and you know we're kind of, you know, a little bit frustrated from the way we're playing, and then you know we make our run in the second half or whenever it is in the game, like we're just spotting the team 10 to 12 points when we don't really have to.
When y'all look back and watch film especially from those second halves when y'all have this kind of runs, do y'all look back and point to, you know, like y'all cutting it close against Texas Tech and other games? Is that a positive, like this is proof we can do it, we just have to put it together longer or earlier, or is that frustrating because you see how close you are, but you can't quite get there?
You know, I think we look at it in a positive way. It's just, you know, can we put a full 40 minutes together? You know, I think we've done 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes, but you know, 40 minutes is what it takes to win in a league like this.
Sort of same question for you, just, you know, those runs like y'all had at Texas Tech, when y'all look back at those, what's it like watching film, not just to the game, but those moments specifically?
Yeah, we know we can do it. In the sense of, like Brandon said, putting together a full 40 minutes of basketball on the offense and the defensive end. We have shown we can do it. We've talked about it multiple times as a group. And so just knowing we can do it, we just got to be able to do it. Like Brandon said, it's actions now. It's February, it's coming up, and it's in the middle of conference, like you guys said. And so we just got to be able to trust in each other and know that if we could do it for 40 minutes, that we could come out victorious in multiple of these games that we have lost, but also in the future as well.
Is that hard? I don't know. Is that comforting mentally? Like we know we can do it, we just got to get there, or is that frustrating just because it's kind of like everybody wants to play 40 minutes of basketball, but it's a hard thing to actually do. I don't know.
No. We know we can do it. You know what I mean? Just like we just talked about, like we've showed we can play for 20, 30 minutes. We just gotta have those small breakdowns and be able to turn those into positive things in the sense of to help our team as a collective group. You know what I mean? And so it's not a negative at all. We know we can do it, saying that we are able and capable of doing it. You know.
What is sort of that next step action-wise then that needs to be happening? Because the play for 40 minutes stuff is stuff that Lutz has told us even. Just kind of what is the next actionable step that you guys can take in doing that?
I think we just gotta just put our best foot forward every day, not just sometimes or in the second half against Texas Tech or, you know, the first game against K-State. I think it starts in practice, how we prepare. You know, the little stuff that you guys may see in our games, you know, that stuff happens every day, and it starts there. You can't just show up, you know, 7 o'clock or 2 p.m. you know, on Saturday against Utah and and think you're just gonna be able to just flip a switch. It starts with our preparation.